Does the biology of the brain make some individuals more likely to commit acts of violence? A growing body of research suggests that's the case. Criminology and psychiatry professor Adrian Raine of the University of Pennsylvania is the author of a new book, The Anatomy of Violence: The Biological Roots of Crime. He's narrowed in on a part of the brain called the prefrontal cortex. One of its primary roles is moderating social behavior.
Here's a normal individual with good frontal lobe functioning. Here's an example of the 42 murderers we had. You can see a distinct lack of activation in that prefrontal cortex. That's the emergency brake on behavior.
What causes some individuals to have less activity in their prefrontal cortex?
We know that half the explanation for crime and violence, while it's genetics, also half is the environment. For example, if you have a mother who takes a baby like this and the baby's crying, so she gives it a good shake like that, the very frontal region of the brain will bruise or effectively damage that prefrontal cortex.
Other possible reasons include other types of head trauma, lead exposure, having a mother who used alcohol during her pregnancy. What can be done about a brain prone to violence? Raine suggests meditation training can help stimulate the prefrontal cortex, and diet. But there's another part of the brain that researchers also see playing a role in violence. Turns out some of the most cold-blooded murderers have prefrontal cortexes that function normally.
Here we have another individual who killed 64 people in a 12-year period without being caught. You can see he has very good functioning in the frontal region of the brain. Here we have a man who could carefully plan and regulate his behavior without being caught. Individuals with a reduction in the size of the amygdala, that emotion region in the brain that is the basis for conscience and remorse, those individuals are 3 times more likely to commit violence in a 3-year follow-up.
I asked Raine for his theory on the 2 brothers, one alive, one dead, implicated in the Boston Marathon bombings. What would he expect to see if he scanned the brains of the Tsarnaev brothers?
We all saw that individual, that bomber, walking away. He detonated the bomb. He walked away as cool as a cucumber. I think that may be because the emotion part of his brain that gives rise to conscience, remorse, and guilt just isn't working quite right in that individual.
The studies are still quite small, but the implications and moral dilemmas are huge. The field of neurocriminology is spurring compelling questions about whether brain scans could be used to identify those more likely to commit acts of violence or to restrain those likely to commit or recommit violence.